Hey guys, CD from AK3R here. I wanted to really talk to you guys about the situation with Hara. I was at the club last night and I was working, so I really couldn't react, you know? I had to keep it all in because it was honestly and truthfully scary. I if I were to make a hypothesis, just an assumption, I'm guessing just all the pressure from her recent conflicts with her abusive ex-boyfriend just really got to her. Com- this is just me guessing right now. All the pressure from the situation with her ex-boyfriend, and then maybe some career pressures may have gotten to her, and it's really unfortunate that this kind of thing has to happen. Like, it's sad, honestly. It's really sad. I I I can't. The only thing that I really wanted to go on live and say really quick is that I want the younger fans watching this to understand something. And this is not me. This is not me going just a rant about how I think second generation idols are this, that, and the third. But I want you to understand that the older groups, one of the reasons why we keep saying please respect them is that they came from a time when idols didn't have the same amount of access to stuff for mental health, stuff to keep their they didn't have companies didn't really have a healthy way of managing an idol's personal life with their business life. It was mostly your entire personal life centered around the company. And nowadays, idols have a little bit more freedom, but the older groups, some older groups, their groups have disbanded or they're just on hiatus or in the military. There are the older idols are just like, they're just walking around now and they're living life on their own, but they never really got to develop themselves individually to a point where they can manage their own personal life and their own personal mental health. Korean society has always been a selfless society where they do well, Asian culture in general has always been the kind of culture where it's a very selfless culture where you do things more for the greater good of your society, the greater good of your family, the greater good of your organization. And even though that's a good thing and all, the downside is that a lot of people end up neglecting themselves when it comes to their own mental health. And I don't really know what happened with with Hara. I'm glad she's alive and I'm glad she's okay. It's just it would have been really unfortunate for us to have lost her. I, like I it would have just it would I'm not crying, but I know that if I had seen that, I probably would have. You'd probably be getting a whole different video if she hadn't survived. So I really want people to take more initiative to look at these older groups and understand why we gun so hard for them. Because they had to crawl in the mud in order for the new idols to be able to walk on cement. You know, they had to put like they came from a time when slave contracts, even in a really good company that treated you well, a slave contract was normal. It was required for you to basically give up your life and risk your entire mental stability just for the sake of being famous. They don't have the same amount of control over their personal life that American celebrities do. The American market in itself is so big that what counts as a scandal. Like like dating someone, that's not a scandal. That's not that's not really a scandal, in America. That can be used for that can be used for good publicity. Like in America, if a heartthrob celebrity gets a girlfriend, they try to turn that into something you can profit off of. Like even though people love Justin Bieber, there are a lot of people who still want him and Selena Gomez to be back together. you know Beyonce and Jay Z capitalized off of their relationship. It was never really that wasn't really an issue. But in Korea, when you date someone, it's like almost a national scandal, because obviously the fandom culture is different over there. And with Hara, I've never really seen a situation where an ex-boyfriend or just someone being in a relationship had this much power. And the reason why it's unfortunate is because, like, again, like I said, she comes from an era where idols had a lot were being an active idol had a lot stricter dating policies, and she, I guess you could say, in a way, when you take on this life, the downside is that you never really get to experience a healthy relationship. There's a lot of, like, honestly, unless you date somebody, unless it's one of those situations where it's like it's better off to date someone within the industry so you guys can understand each other versus dating someone outside of the industry, because there's so, like, if you're dating someone within the industry, it can give you so many benefits because that person understands you. I don't really know anything about Hara's boyfriend enough to really say what kind of person he is. Well, I know. Well, let me rephrase. I don't know about his if he's a celebrity or not to say what kind of person he is. But connected myself. I really hope that Hara doesn't do this again. And I'm just rambling right now, so I'm sorry if this isn't really on topic or anything. I just felt like rambling. I really hope that this doesn't escalate into something worse than it actually is. I really hope that Hara gets the help she needs to better herself, and I hope that the situation doesn't become to the. You get what I'm saying. Anyways, guys, hope you have a good day.